So when we're looking at the expected return, we can say, okay, here's my cash flow without any CVAs. If there are insolvencies, then what's going to happen is you're going to get, every so often, basically a vacancy period. With the CVA process, they might be more frequent, and you may also be seeing a reduction in the rent. So what that will do is it will basically reduce your expected return. Now, it's not going to be an enormous reduction in the expected return. It's actually only going to hit the expected return probably by about 0.1%, so it's relatively small. What is interesting is on the required return that it's actually going to boost your required return. And that's because with CVAs, you've got less protection from the lease. Now, in the good times, you don't really need that protection, because actually if you can relet your unit, retailers go bust all the time. So if you can relet your unit, it isn't going to have a massive impact on your cash flow. And in fact, you may be able to relet the unit at a higher rent. However, the required return for me relates to the downswing. And that's where CVAs are really going to hurt, because your protection from the lease has been eroded. So now, if there's a downswing, you'll have a bigger fall in income than you would have done before. So the expected return is lower and your required return is higher. Therefore, prices have got to fall so that your running yield increases. If CVAs basically negate some of the advantages of a lease, which they do, the lease effectively protected the landlord from individual units on their estate performing badly. You were immune to those effects. Going forward, you're not going to be immune to those effects. So if the retailer is able to do a CVA and you're not getting the benefit as a landlord, then why would you continue leasing as you were before? Much to say, well, okay, I'd rather have strong retailers. So if you're managing a shopping centre, the likely industry response is to say, well, if you're going to be doing CVAs and you're not going to be honouring your leases, then why don't we move you to very short leases without the right to renew, i.e. outside of the Act. And then the landlord needs to manage their centre in a very responsive way. Now what that will mean is it's a much more hands-on process. But also it means that poorly performing retailers will be weeded out very quickly, and they'll be replaced by better performing retailers. Now in a downswing, of course, you're going to be exposed and your income is going to fall very rapidly. However, over the long term, you're going to have a stronger offer. You're going to know which retailers are trading well, you're going to have a much more vibrant centre, and you're going to be able to generate a higher income. It's a much shorter lease environment, moving it more towards a sort of factory outlet style approach. And, do we really want these retailers limping on anyway? So I think actually having shorter leases and weeding out the underperforming retailers, I don't think it's a bad thing.